Bridget Bartlett here. If you or your clients have a salon, I don't know why this is coming up here. If you or your let me get rid of this. Hang on just a second. I love when I go live and these weird things happen. Okay. Sorry about that. So, welcome to today's live training. So, if you or your clients have a salon, barbershop, spa, or any other type of service based business that requires you to book appointments, this is an absolute game changer. So, today I'm going to show you how to create a service calendar like this one that includes blocking off rooms and equipment. So, you can see here that this example is for a salon. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but every single time I have ever tried to contact a salon to get my nails done or get my hair done or whatever it is always a giant pain. Most of them do not have any automation. You usually have to call the salon during normal business hours to book an appointment, and maybe you don't even know if they're going to have someone available or what services they offer. It's usually not very they usually don't have a very good system for this. Okay. Now, imagine if you are the salon owner and your system is set up like this. Imagine how many more appointments you would book because people are easily able to book and even pay online. But also imagine the amount of time that you would be saving your staff because they would not be manually doing all of these things, booking these appointments when they are answering the phone. I also know that if you're like me, you've ever been to a salon and you've had the person cutting your hair and they have to constantly stop cutting your hair to go answer the phone. Okay. It's not a good experience for them as the employee. It's not a good experience for the customer who's trying to get their hair cut within, less than 4 hours time. Okay. So, this is the basic rundown of a service calendar. So you can see here we have different groups or categories. So in this salon here, we have eyebrows, nails, hair, and wax. So if I wanted to get my eyebrows done, I would click on this group here, and then I could see all of the options that I have available for eyebrows. So I could click here if I wanted to get my eyebrows shaped, and I could book the appointment, which one works best for me. I could even choose the person if I'm a regular customer that I want to do my eyebrows. And then it would even trigger automations to remind me of the appointment and all of that. I could pay for my appointment. All of those things can be done automatically. Okay. Now you see here, of course, we have nails and then hair and so on. Okay. So what I'm going to do to build all of this is I'm going to use HighLevel. Okay. Now, if you're unfamiliar with HighLevel, it's an all in one digital marketing platform that you can white label and resell as SaaS or as a service. Okay. So, what you can do is create a free trial if you go to myvisionagency.com. Okay. And if you want to check out my free training and tools and all of that here, you can register here. If you want to join our program, you can actually join for free. If you're not a high level member, you can click here. If you are a high level member, you can still join for free, even if you're on the SaaS plan. But you can click here to see your options to join there. Okay. So, who are the businesses who actually need this option? Okay. So, just to show you an example of what I was saying before about the typical train wreck experience a customer has when they are booking with a salon specifically. Okay. So I just Googled Salon Indianapolis because I am actually in the Indianapolis area. And you can see here that if they have a website, it's usually horrible. So I'm going to look here and I'm just going to go to the website here and I'm going to see what the website looks like. Chances are there's not a place for me to book an appointment. Okay. So let's see, online pre consultation form. And then there's an application here. I do see prices. So this must be a pretty pricey salon. But look, even saying this, if you have a survey or a form on your website that is this long, which I don't know what this is all about, but if it's this long, you're losing money. Okay. Because as soon as a customer sees a form on your website that's this long, they're instantly like, I'll do that later. That's too much. Okay. So if you do need all this information, use a survey over a form. Okay. So that's just a little piece of advice here. So I'm going to look at the prices here. And again, it's pretty pricey, but you can see that what's their call to action, okay, to make a phone call. So here we go again. We are the customer at the salon. We're paying, like, look, that's an enormous amount of money, right? They're paying this much money. And if they, hopefully they have a receptionist, but if they don't, that person is stopping cutting their hair so they can go do all the appointments. Okay. Super annoying for a customer. And if we are a business owner, we want our customers having a great experience. So I'm going to go here to this website here. Let's just see, enter request an appointment. Okay, so basic form. Okay, now I can see if I go to other services here, I can see the other services that they have available. But wouldn't it be so much nicer instead of looking at this and then having to call to book an appointment? Um, that's just, I don't know. I mean, I know that this is like the standard. You can see that when you do all of this research, but this is not productive. Okay. We could do so much better. So, for the agency owner, we know our solution, which is this, is going to be so much better than this. Okay. And if I was talking to this business owner, I would be like, okay, what do you do when someone wants to book an appointment? Okay. There right away, it's going to fall apart. They're either going to say they're using this form, or they have people call. It's all falling apart at that point. Okay. And now, how do you remind them of the appointment? How do you follow up with them? And what is your email list? Do you have a list of customers that, frequent your salon? If the answer is no to any of these things, they're the perfect customer for this option here. Okay. I guarantee if you just show them this image and say, how would you like for all of your bookings to be automated and your payment processing to be automated? That's an easy sell, right? So let's get into the nuts and bolts of how to actually create this. Okay. So now the very first thing that I want to do, I'm in the high level account now, and you'll see I'm in the settings, I'm in calendars, and now I want to create my service menu. All right. Now I need to, the first step really is to create the group. Okay. So I'm going to make this super generic because this is not just for salons. This could be for barbershops or spas. This could be for attorneys. This could be for any business that provides services for their customers where they need to book an appointment. Okay. So I'm going to say the group name is, I'm going to say service group one. And now we're going to choose the template that we want this to be on. All of the new options are available on Neo. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose Neo there. And we're going to name this service group one. Okay. And create. Okay, it says this is already taken, so I'm going to put like a little dash there. Let's see if this one is not taken. Okay, it already is taken as well. So we're going to say service group. Here we go. Now we'll put test. All right. So now we've created our first group. Now remember, a group is going to be this right here. Okay. So even though I'm using generic terms in order for you to think outside the box of just salon, I just want you to know when we're creating groups, we're creating basically the category of the service that we're creating, the service menu. Let's go ahead and create another group. So I'm going to click here, create a group, and we're going to call this service group number two. So service group two. Okay, we're going to choose Neo again. Let's do service group two, test, and create. All right. So now we have our two different groups. So in our calendar, there's four groups here in this example, but in our calendar, we only have two groups. Okay. So I'm going to X out of this just so I quit doing that. So now we've created the groups. We need to create the service calendars for the groups. Okay, so I'm going to go to calendars now. And if you're unfamiliar with calendars, check out the previous training that I did. You can go to myvisionagency.com/help to access the knowledge base. But you'll be able to see the difference in the calendars and all of that. So I'm going to click here to create calendar. And this time I'm going to choose the service calendar. Okay, so I'm going to give this a name now. We're going to call this service calendar one. And we're going to choose the staff members that we want to be responsible for this calendar. So I'm going to say demo user one. I could select multiple if I need to, but I'm just going to say that there. And then we're going to call this service cal one. Let's go ahead and put test in there too, just so that make sure that it's not taken. Now we need to choose this service here. The service calendar one. How long is this service going to take? Okay, so if this is like eyebrows or something, or this is cutting hair, or if this is like a consultation or something like that, how long is one of these going to last? So let's just say 30 minutes, and we could choose to accept payments here, or we could just make it free. Let's go ahead and just make it free, and then we're going to say advanced settings. You could make it free if you want them to book, but honestly, if you can have them book and pay at the same time, oh my gosh, it increases the show up rate, it decreases the no show rate, and you no longer have to deal with the processing of that payment at the time of service. Okay, so it just gives a little bit more incentive. But again, every business structure is different. So I'm going to kind of breeze through this because these are the same setup options, most of them that we have already gone through in the training. Okay, so we're going to upload our logo here. We have our service name and description. We can add the group. So which group do we want the service calendar one to go into? So I'm going to choose service group one that this service goes into. Okay, so remember the group calendar or the service calendar would be like eyebrow shaping here. Okay, but the group would be like eyebrows. Okay, so now I am just going to leave all this the default. I'm going to go to the availability. So how long is my service? Do I need any buffer time? Maybe it takes me about 15 minutes to clean up. How many days before the appointment do I want the ability to book? So maybe like the day before. And then you could also choose a date range. So how long do you want the span of appointments to be available? Meaning, do you want people to be able to book out appointments for the next year? Or do you want to limit it to 14 days? I honestly like to limit it, especially if you're using free appointments like that, people basically have no stake or no skin in the game. I don't like to go more than 14 days because they will likely forget or not be as incentivized. Because, when they book the appointment, they're pumped up and they're ready to talk about it. Maybe 14 days later, or 30 days, or a year later, maybe they're not going to be as pumped up. Okay, so I'm just going to say 14 days for this example. Let's go to forms and payment. We're going to choose the form that we want to select that they're going to fill out when they're booking the appointment. So if we have like pre-qualification questions or something like that, we can also choose the sticky contacts, which is going to pre-fill in information. This is really great, especially if you're using the second page here. You can also have them consent to receive information or really anything that you want them to consent here to. Maybe you have specific terms of service that you want them to accept. If nothing else, if you are going to be sending, text messages and things like that as reminders, you want to make sure that you do have consent for that, especially here in the United States for A2P compliance. Okay, so we have the confirmation page. When they book the appointment, do we want to send them a message or do we want to send them to a different page? Typically, a different page is better. It's more professional. You have more control of the information that is there. You can also add a Pixel ID here if you want to have Facebook track the people who are booking appointments. You can also auto confirm or you can manually confirm. Typically, it's better to have this on. And then, of course, you could choose accept payments here if you did have, you wanted them to be able to pay when booking or you wanted to force them to pay when booking. You also have the notifications here. So when we send out an email, which email do you want to send basically? Do you want to send this to the contact? So who's going to receive this, the assigned staff member, or do you have like an additional email that you want to send all of these people to? Okay. You can set this up here, or you can do this in workflows. And I talked more about that in the training that we did yesterday regarding workflows, okay, for calendars and booking appointments. Also, do we want to allow Google Outlook Calendar to send invitation and update emails to attendees? I like to do that. Again, it's up to you. We all have a different business and strategy. Assign contacts to their respective service members each time an appointment is booked. I'm just going to leave that unchecked. Cancellation and reschedule. Yes, I want them to have the ability to do that. And you'll see that when you have that on, that we have custom values here, and this is going to provide the link inside the emails that's going to allow them to reschedule or cancel. Okay, so if you don't want to do that, you can turn those off. Now, the customizations, when you want to add the image here for your calendar, which would be like the brow shaping here, You want to add that there. Then you can also add your brand colors and change the title. And you can choose if you want the calendar title description or calendar details to be listed there inside of your calendar. You could click here to check it out and see what it looks like. And then also we have this section here for the rooms and equipment. So if you are, let's say you're a salon and you provide like massage services, okay, you probably need a room that when someone books a salon, if you only have two rooms that do massages, then you want to make sure that you have built in that room so that when they're booking a massage, that it blocks off that room and then no one else can use that room. Okay. There's lots of use cases for blocking off rooms and equipment. Now you can see here that also we have no rooms and equipment. Okay. So I'm going to show you how you can actually add those. But if I did want, when they book this first service, the service calendar one, when they're booking something on this calendar, if I do need to block off a room or some equipment, I can do that here. Okay. So it would just show basically something that I can choose from the drop down menu. So that's the last thing here. I'm going to go ahead and save. And so now we've created our first service calendar. Okay. Now, we can easily duplicate this if we want to. So since we didn't really do anything fancy, I'm not going to worry about duplicating it. But if we did want to duplicate it, we could just click here to duplicate. Okay. Now, if I did need to move this to a different group, I could also click here to move to either an unassigned or a different group as well. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's just breeze through and create this next calendar. So I'm going to go create calendar. We're going to go here. We're going to say service calendar 2, and we're going to choose a staff member. Let's say this is for demo user 2, and we're going to say service calendar 2 test. And maybe this one is like an hour long. And of course, we could accept payments if we want to. I'm going to go ahead and choose advanced settings. All of the same settings and everything. We're going to choose our availability here. Let's just say we need 15 minutes of buffer time, 1 day's notice. They can book 30 days out. And we're going to choose our forms and payment. So we want to pre-populate these sticky fields. We're just going to use that message there. We're not going to accept payments for this. We are going to click on notifications here. Who do we want to notify when an appointment is booked? Do we want to build it in the automations or here? I just showed yesterday how to do that in the automation, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. We do want to check this, leave this unchecked, and we want to allow them to reschedule or book. Going on to the customizations here, we can add our images here and brand it ourselves and choose if we want the title and so on to be showing there. And then also we can select any rooms and equipment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save. Now, what we have is our service calendar that we just created, but you can see here that we actually didn't put it in a group. Okay, so let's go over here and we're going to put this in a group and it's going to be assigned to service group 2. Okay, please note that the legacy link will stop working once you proceed with the change. Please confirm. Okay, so if you've already shared this, that's really important to know because it will no longer work. Okay, but since we have not shared this yet, we're just getting it set up. We're all good. So we have service calendar 1 is in service group 1, and then we have service calendar 2 is in service group 2. Okay, you can see the groups here that we've created. Now that we've done that, we're still not done yet. Okay, let's go ahead and create a room here, and we're going to call this like massage room or something. Okay. And we could say, what is the room capacity? All right. So, how many people could actually book this room? Let's just say 2. Okay. And then we want to select a calendar. So, what calendar is going to be connected to this room? Okay. So, if they book this room now, it's going to block off this. Okay. So, 2 people can book and then it's going to block it off. So, I'm going to go ahead and click create. All right. Now, what if on the other appointment, so let's choose equipment 1, let's just say that. Now, how many of those do we have? Okay, so if this is like, um, if I have like a construction business and maybe I have like a, big piece of equipment I'm using, maybe I have like fleet vehicles, maybe I have, if we're talking about salons, maybe I have like 2 massage chairs. So let's just say 2 there. And what if I have one of them though that is out of service? I can actually change that here and then that way it will actually only allow one person to book. Okay. So we can select that there. And of course, we want to choose our calendar here. So I'm going to say for service two, we actually need to make sure that we're blocking off that equipment. Okay. So if we go now back to our calendars, let's go into edit in rooms and equipment, you can see now for service calendar one, we have that room blocked off. Okay, so when it meets that criteria that we chose, then it's going to choose that. But you can see here, even though the equipment one shows up, we are not saying that it's required for the service. So it's not checked here. Okay, so if we open up this other one here, you will see that the equipment is checked here because that's the one that we just selected, but you'll see the rooms was not checked, okay? So that's how you wanna get all of that set up, but we're still not done because we have not created our service menu yet, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead now to the service menu, and let's go ahead and click here to create, and we're going to say our let's just call this service menu training, and we could write a description. Let's just say, this is so awesome. And we could choose our service menu slug. So what do we want the URL to be? It's going to be whatever our domain is, /widget /service menus. And so maybe we want to say service menu training one, just to make sure that it's not taken. Same thing here. We want to choose the form. We want to choose our consent. What do we want them to consent to? What do we want to happen once they've submitted the service? Also, we have additional options here. Do we want to enable them to add a guest? Do we want to enable them to have multiple service selection? So you can actually book. Let's say that I am celebrating something, like let's say a friend is getting married and she wants to book an appointment for all of her bridesmaids to get their hair done. Okay. You can actually enable the add guests, and then you can choose maybe guest one wants to have service A, guest two wants service B, and guest C or three wants service A as well. Okay. So you can actually select all of that inside of the appointment, which is super cool. And also, do you want them to be able to choose the staff member that will be servicing them? All of those options can be selected here, okay? Now you also have the option here to select which of the service groups do you want to appear on your service calendar. If we only wanted service group two, then we could select that. And if we had multiple services inside of service group two, then we could select all of them or each individual one. Okay, so if I wanted, maybe we had service cal one, then I could only select service cal one or two, right? So you can really customize whatever you want to show up there. Now, since for this training, we only created like one group and two like categories and two service calendars, I'm just going to select all of those there. And then we can go and rearrange the services. So if I want service group one to be on top here, I can actually just rearrange that there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click save now. And I'm going to open up my calendar here so we can either embed this into another website. We could grab the permanent link and just share the raw link. Of course, we could copy the scheduling link here and then deactivate the menu. Let's go ahead and click here. I'm going to open up an incognito window. And of course, this won't be as pretty as it could be because we didn't add any images, but you get the premise here. Okay, so we have our service group one and service group two. And then when you toggle over, you'll see we have service group one, which is service calendar one, and then service group two, which is service calendar two. Okay. So you can see how all of that gets set up. You see where the description is, where it says, this is so awesome. Now, all of your clients or your clients' clients will be able to easily set this automation up. You guys, this could be valued to a business and probably increase their profits by 30% easy, because 70% of clients will actually skip your business and go to the next one if there's no way to book online. Okay. That is an actual office hours are starting soon. That is an actual statistic. So go look it up. And that's really, if you tell a business owner that they are literally throwing away 70% of their sales Oh my gosh, you guys. Not to mention the time that this saves is phenomenal, okay, for the business owner and for the customer. It really provides a great experience. So if you are not a high level member yet, or you're a current member and you're interested in joining, go to myvisionagency.com and check out all of my bonuses. You can join my program. Thank you all so, so much for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us for today's training. If you have any questions, you can join us for open office hours starting right now at bridgetbartlett.com. It's free and open to everyone, so I'll see you there.